that the NDP lo-fi? What's up guys? My name is Syazwan and I'm the one behind One Ubin Journal. As you can see right now, we're actually on Pulau Ubin, and yeah, so I'm just gonna be your guide today to show you this beautiful island. And so a quick introduction about myself. Well, my mom was actually born and raised on Ubin from 1959 to 1989, which indirectly suggests that I'm a descendant from this community. And so when I found out about this, that's when I came back to try to really find out more about this place where my mom was growing up as a child. And so yeah, so today we're just gonna bring you around, more specifically towards Chek, Jawa, and maybe we'll find a few wild boars if we really want to. Okay, so let's go. So Syazwan, what's on the left? As you can see on the left, these are Kampong houses that still exist on Ubin, and we on the island are kind of blessed with the fact that we are the only island that still has these kampongs in Singapore. So basically by right, this is kind of a way for you to travel back in time. So yeah, but you'll be able to see more kampongs. In fact, right in front of Ubin, that's where you'll be able to find the Malay kampong. And I'll share with you more about the Malay kampong later on. Nice view, huh? Morning. Morning. Morning.
생일 축하합니다. 생일 축하합니다. What are you doing? Flick! Flick! Happy boy, happy boy.
Sorry about that. We are in Pulau Ubin, so connection is a little bit wonky.
Yeah,
But,
so yeah.
Bring us ahead, Syazwan.
Okay, in that case, I have to turn the other way then.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, once you're on Ubin, you're basically in Malaysia like that lah. So the reception may be a little bit wonky, like what was mentioned. And in fact, if you go a little to the north, make sure your data roaming is off, or else some charges. Let's go. By the way, a quick disclaimer. I'm gonna take off my mask, so don't say I'm a COVIDiot, because technically cycling is a vigorous exercise. So I'm trying to give you a face reveal. It's even better because now I can breathe easy. We are also expecting quite heavy traffic today, so those on the PIE, you're not affected because you're on Ubin. Up ahead, we're gonna have a slope, but behind the slope is my favorite place in all of Ubin. So let's take a look what's behind the hill.
Hey John, we must speed up. Yeah. So bro, pedal hard, okay?
When you're climbing the hill, you better pedal hard. If you don't put the metal to the pedal, then you just got metal only. If you think this hill is challenging, wait until what you see later.
Oh no. This is not challenging at all.
Got to keep a lookout for vents also. So the next time you tend to visit the island, do keep a lookout for other forms of traffic. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you my most favorite part of Ubin. It's to your right. These are the people from the Malay Kampong. As you can see, many houses here, but it's not the same. Oh, bro. Yeah. So, as you can see around, there are 4 houses over here. This is the Malay Kampong. To be more specific, this kampong has a name. This kampong is known as Kampong Sungai Durian. For those of you who pass Malay, you will know that Sungai Durian is Malay River. Hey, wait, what? No, Durian River, sorry. Yeah, so the reason why this place is called Sungai Durian is because we do have a river that is bordered by a lot of durian trees. In fact, if you were to look around right now, you'll be able to see durians. And I can have a feeling some of you are going to ask when is durian season. Unfortunately, I cannot give you an answer to that. But one thing for sure, I can say the durians on Ubin is really the best, the best of the best. So, right, so this is a detour. So afterwards, we're just going to keep on going to the front. And if there are any heritage facts that I can think of on the spot when we are there, I'll just share with you lah. For now, our journey to Chek Jawa continues. Let's go.
Alright, let's go.
If you are able to hear a certain form of buzzing or humming, that's because our residents here are using the diesel generators for their electricity. So to your right, this is actually Pak Ahmad's drink stall, and this is usually the drink stall that most of you visit if you want to visit Jawa. Unfortunately, for Pak Ahmad's drink stall, it's still closed for the time being, but we are all eagerly awaiting for his reopening lah. Hi, how to be ready. I cannot promise you any wild boars, but we got monkeys already. So we all gotta be careful.
Oh my god, there's a monkey.
3.
Monkey C, monkey do.
So as you can see, this is all the monkey business that's happening on Ubin. To be more specific, the monkeys here are called macaques. But don't be like my mom. When she reads it for the first time, she called it makachwe. So don't be a makachwe and just call it as macaques or monkeys lah. So all of these monkeys you'll be able to find all around Ubin. But most of the time you'll actually be able to find in the Malay Kampong as well. And let me catch my breath. So if there's any advisory to give whenever you're on Ubin, make sure you don't have any open or exposed plastic bags with you, because the monkeys might just hunt you down. You have to be careful with that. There will be some times where you'll be able to see that monkeys are engaged in conflict with one another, but not to anyway, it's not the key.
All right, our journey to Chek Jawa continues. Let's go, Syazwan.
Then you see, plastic bag. Yeah, plastic bag just, so this is only about plastic bag. If we able to find sources themselves actually. So our journey to Chek Jawa continue. So, whew, all right. Right. In fact, another interesting thing is later on today, I will be actually be passing my grandfather's river lah. And I actually have the rights to say that lah, because that river is really my grandfather one lah. So the locals have actually given that name of my grandfather. So my grandfather's real name is Sulong bin Yunus, but the people call him by Awang Minyak. And so the river in front is actually eastern tributary, and that
Go up. Go live. Syazwan, how long more? I guess halfway. If you're counting from the jetty. So, just now, like I mentioned, there was Kampong Sungai Durian, but the path that we're traveling right now actually used to be Kampong Surau. So this is where my grandparents used to live. So my grandparents' house, we actually walked past just now because there's no connection. And unless you're using Singtel, like the commercials always say, can you get it everywhere? I'm not sure if that's the truth for Ubin also lah, because the connection here is really one of a kind. So we're actually kind of halfway through to Chek Jawa already, and you can see that I'm no longer cycling, as so are the other visitors here, because there's no way you can climb up that hill lah. So in front also there's going to be a few more hills, so if you're up for it, carry on. But if your pets unfit like me, like that lah, okay. So we're just gonna keep on slowly pushing. For those who are adventurous, you can carry on and cycle. For those of you who are just tuning in, we are on Pulau Ubin, and I think I can share more later on. Because if I were to share with you what cycling and pushing, I got no stamina already lah. Okay, we are already reaching the first of many downhills. So let's just go for a ride. Well, let's go. If I can get my butt in. Okay, hang on. You all ready? So try not to be a teacher right now. The path downhill may look gentle, but usually the gentlest of
축하합니다. 생일 축하합니다. What are you doing? Flick! Flick! Woo! Happy boy! Happy boy!
You like?
Yep.
Difficult answer is how to agree and easy. Understand?
Yeah, guys.
You maybe push down, maybe cycle down. Hi everyone. How close are you to Chek Jawa? Right in front. Whoop. Oh no. Oh no. There is this momentum.
Don't do it, Pinky.
I think I better spray them again.
Morning to all of you who are tuning in. For most of the difficulties have been experienced because, like how we mentioned, Ubin is first way. So we have finally reached Chek, Jawa, and so without trying to waste more time, let's just go right in. Can you Yes. Hey, for the how many times already? Welcome back to the live stream for Mothership. And I'm the one who's been journal. We have finally, after nearly 25 to 30 minutes, we have finally reached Chek, Jawa. And as you can see, my mask is finally back on because we are no longer on a vigorous exercise. And yeah, so for now, we are going to probably either take a look at the visitor center or we're going to go by the mangrove boardwalk. I guess it's up to the audience to decide which route you want to take first. is that called now? Slightly for crowd control, a bit crowded, or maybe it's a little bit unsafe. So for those tuning in, welcome again. This is Chek Lens. I'll give you some brief history about this place. Of course, this area isn't actually just a wetland reserve from the beginning. This was actually a kampong in the past as well. And to be more specific, this place was known as Kampong Tanjung. So for the reason for the name behind Chek Jawa is actually a little bit interesting because as you mentioned, for Chek Jawa is actually in Malay, it could actually be given to address someone who is of Javanese descent. Like how we always say Chek and Chek. That's the same thing for Chek Jawa. But whether or not the name of this place was named after Javanese people is still up to debate. And also whether or not this place is of significance to all the Javanese travelers who went down this route for their travels. So yeah, we are now going down to the mangrove boardwalk, or maybe the coastal board because there's still a junction in front of us. And as the case site hills is up to 10 floors and I'll go. You gotta be real careful. Finally came across a wild boar, and the as the name suggests, it's a bull that's wild. So you have to be careful around the wild boar. For those of you who are in the stream for the spur, actually here to explore the
생일 축하합니다. What are you doing? Flick! Flick! Woo! Happy boy! Happy boy!
Oh, is it? Great. Hi, it's me again. After how many times, I really don't know. But first of all, I want to thank you for your patience. As you can see right now, there's nothing but the sea. That's because we have finally reached Chek, Jawa after lots and lots of disconnections. But that's really the point of Ubin's forested regions. So let's just continue walking down and yeah, enjoy the view because this is really one of a kind in Singapore. But of course, the best time for us to actually enjoy the view of Chek Jawa is when it's supposed to be at its lowest tide. Unfortunately for us, we did not look up with MPA, and so the tide is actually quite high. But some of the animals that you might be able to find here, of course, would include lots of sea creatures. Some of the sea creatures that we might be able to come across in Chek Jawa also include some seahorses, sea anemones, oysters, clams, and pretty much a lot of it lah. So that is why actually for Chek Jawa, this place has a lot of biodiversity. And in fact, to the extent that in 2001, we also have this Safe Chek Jawa campaign. So the Safe Chek Jawa campaign came in when the Urban Redevelopment Authority, or URA, actually proposed for this whole area to be reclaimed. And the purpose for it is for it to be used for military purposes. Because as you can see right over there, we have the best resort for all the men in Singapore. That is of course Kampong Resort. All the way over there is Pulau Tekong. So even for me, when I learned about Tekong, I came to learn that my grandfather was actually born in Tekong and eventually moved to Ubin, and that's where my mom became the first of many siblings to be born and raised on this island. And yeah, I don't know what much else to share right now. For those of you who can tahan the heat, this will definitely be a good sauna for you. But if you're like me, already used to the heat, It's good lah. It's just good for us to seep in all this vitamin D. But it's almost noon, so before you know it, because of our careless ways, global warming and climate change and all that stuff, I'm not sure how long we can enjoy this kind of sun in this timing lah. So as soon as I say that, we got a kid, so yeah. You might be able to see some rock formations here. So there are some interesting geology. For those of you who like to have a trail walk over here, you can just walk on this real platform. But of course, for the cameraman, be extra careful lah. The next time you can get it is at the lowest tide, and by then maybe the fishes have already taken some selfies lah. Yeah. So to the right, you actually see some of these shores, but in the past, actually the ones who you would consider the beachfront residents of this island, and they actually did have the best view in the past year as well. And yeah. So let's just let nature do its thing. Enjoy the sound of the sea breeze. Enjoy the sound of the waves. Okay, so for the stupid question, to be honest, there's no really a stupid song. By who, sorry?
Rachel Ng.
By Rachel Ng. What's your question again?
Stupid question, but so if it's a high tide, what will happen?
So for high tide, right? So as you can see right now, towards your left and right, it's all covered in the sea. So for the high tide, this is really what you're going to mostly enjoy, which is mostly clear waters. But of course, the big thing is, like how I mentioned, you have to come during the low tide, because as you can see that speedboat over there, go beyond it, that's how far the tide will disappear into. So you actually have a lot of mudflats here, and you will actually be able to see a lot of biodiversity around this place. So that's what gives this area a much more significant main place of attraction for those who come to Ubin lah. So right in front is finally something interesting. You can see a very rocky foundation in front, and in fact it's actually an island. That island is known as Pulau Sekuduk. Pulau Sekuduk, actually, if you were to translate into Malay, means Frog Island. And why is it called Frog Island? Well, that's because on that island, you'll be able to find a rock formation that looks exactly like a frog. But there's also a history behind that, which is that for Pulau Ubin, there's also a legend behind this island, or how the island actually came to be. So as how you might be able to know about Sisters Island or Pusu Island, this island was formed because somebody said, let's just turn into stone. So for that kind of instance, as you can see over there, that's the coastal parts of Changi. Changi Beach over there in the past, in a long time ago, there used to be 3 different animals. There used to be a frog, an elephant, and a pig. So one day these 3 animals came together and they challenged one another for a race. So it was a swimming competition to see who can reach Johor first. So the frog, being overconfident and being an aquatic animal, decided to go for a swim first. But then it dropped. and because it drowned, it was turned into stone. And so the other two animals say we are in some deep trouble right now, so we better make it, or else we'll also turn into stone. But of course, as soon as you pass this island, you also became stone, more or less became an island itself. So historically speaking, Pulau Ubin used to be two different islands, and then it was merged together as one. And you can actually see traces of its merger along the Jelutong River, which is more towards the western part of the island. And so that's how the whole island came to be together as one. That's basically the legend around Pulau Ubin lah. Yeah. Okay, so for the question with regards to if you can't cycle, what should you do on the island? Well, we are gifted with something called two legs, so we can actually walk also if you want. But of course, if you want to take public transport, you can also do that. Yeah, this is a lake in case you haven't seen it before. Yeah, you can actually take the taxi van services here. So Pulau Ubin, we are also unique in the sense that we don't have taxis like Comfort Delgro or City Cab, but we have vans that we have transformed into taxi vans. So if you ever happen to see all these vans, they're not vans, they're actually our taxis. And you are actually able to get them as soon as you walk past the jetty. Just approach one of the drivers over there, and they'll be happy to bring you around lah. You just tell them where you want to go. Like the Chek Jawa, the Malay Kampong, Ubin Living Lab, Pakar Hill, the temples. There's many places for you to visit. Yeah. Some fun things about Pulau Sepudut also in the past was that there are many photos that my mom shared with me showing that they actually had a picnic over at the island. And of course, today you can't do that. Even if you want to kayak, you still can't do that because Chek Jawa is a protected zone and you can't do anything about it lah. So for the time being, all you can do is just admire the beauty of Chek Jawa from a safe distance. And speaking of safe distance, make sure you also protect yourselves and others by maintaining a safe distance from one another. This PSA is brought to you by me because I just want to say it lah.
There's a bunch of people kayaking into some other place that I don't know. Interesting, huh? So today has been a great day. Syazwan has been a great guide. I'm not usually on camera, but it's been a great day at Pulau Ubin, and I would love to see more of Pulau Ubin, but currently a little bit tired because there's a lot of hills. But now we're just gonna see where we're gonna head off to. And Syazwan is telling us about the history of Pulau Ubin, a lot of things that I didn't know about, especially about Chek Jawa. And I didn't know this was Chek Jawa. I always thought it was just some other mangrove, but apparently it has a name that I am not aware of. But yeah, I think we just walk the entire route, and I'll pass it over back to Syazwan, and he can tell us what's next. Alright, so Syazwan, thank you for bringing me out to Pulau Ubin.
No worries.
And had a really great time learning more about Pulau Ubin. So maybe you can just end off and we can tell the viewers like what's in store if they want to go to Pulau Ubin, and is there anything that they can do besides cycling or even fishing, and when is the best time to go to Pulau Ubin?
Alright, so first of all, let me just thank all of our viewers for tuning in, and of course, apologies for many of the technical difficulties that we've been experiencing. But yeah, For Pulau Ubin, there's definitely a lot more than just Chek Jawa. This whole island, like how I mentioned, is a very, very big place. Yeah, so for Shirley and Lucky, unfortunately, there is no place for us to reside on the island. Yeah, it's mostly reserved for the Kampong people. Lah. Yeah, so there is no chalet over here, but if you want to camp here, you just have to write in a permit to NParks and just let them know that you have the intention to camp on the island. Lah. There'll be designated campsites for you, and there are also designated places for you to light the fire. And yeah, so like going back to my outro right now, there's definitely a lot more for you to explore on Ubin. What we've done here is just really very minuscule as compared to the rest of what you can do on the island. There are many other places for you to visit, like my personal favorite, the Malay Kampong. And of course, there are also other places to the west, such as the Kertam Mountain Bike Park for all those who like to cycle. We also have lots of other places for you to do some hiking, some exploring, and definitely some Instagramming as well. And yeah, for those of you who would like to know more about Ubin, you can also feel free to look up on my Facebook page. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. It's at Once Ubin Journal. You just go right in, and I usually share some of my findings, documentations about what I learned about my family's history over here, as well as about the community as well. And yeah, in fact, actually, towards the end of the month, I am intending to conduct a simple walking tour. So if any of you are just interested, do keep a lookout for it on my Facebook page as well. And I guess the last question is, where have you been? So come down to Pulau Ubin, and I hope to see you here too. Bye.